Now, don't get it fucked up. Everybody's not going to have the street success story. Everybody's not going to have the Jay-Z, quote unquote, only I'm not saying what he did in the streets, did his from his rhymes, he says. You're not going to always have the luck of selling 92 bricks, lost 92 bricks and crawl back and get it all back and everything else. That's not for everybody. That destiny is not for everybody.
Everybody doesn't get the Jay-Z ending. Cameron just said the quiet part out loud and it hit different. This isn't about hating on Jay-Z at all. This ain't about discrediting success. This is about reality. Cameron breaks down why the streets don't reward everybody the same way, and why the 92 brick story sounds legendary, but the outcome is definitely rare, and why a lot of people confuse survival with destiny. Cameron talks about how the streets can shape you, but he also explains how they can rob you of your true potential. Not everybody gets to lose it all and magically bounce back richer. Not everybody gets the same lucky break. And not everybody gets the rap story that turns into a $1 billion empire. This conversation goes deeper than just hip hop. It's about environment, opportunity, and the choices people make when options are limited. Now I'm about to play this clip for y'all, but before I do, I just need y'all to like, leave y'all thoughts down below in the comment section, and subscribe. Let's get into it.
That's another thing. I talked about on It Is What It Is. It's a few places that I'm not going this year. I'm not going out my way, and I'm not going above and beyond. That's where I'm not going. I'm just not doing it. I'm settled in. I won't be traveling to any of those destinations. I'm just not going to do it. This is something else I want to point out. It's a lot of talk going on the internet, and I don't want to just relate this to rappers because, and this isn't about any rappers, what I'm about to say. I seen somebody on the internet. I wish I remembered his tag. If you guys remember his tag, make sure you tag him when you guys see this. But it was a guy talking about, fuck the streets. Fuck the streets, because certain rappers were saying fuck the streets. And I don't have an opinion if they say fuck the streets or don't fuck the streets. I'm talking about the rappers and how they feel and everything else. I have zero opinion on how they feel on that. But I did like what this person said. And what this person said is this, that, he was a street nigga, and then he said he basically didn't get nothing out of it. And he wasn't saying fuck the streets, but he basically was like, the streets made me, but at the same time, the streets robbed me of who I could have became. And I was like, yo, I really like the way he put that, because there's so many people that the streets, how I want to word this. The streets helped you definitely become who you are if you grew up in that environment. But let's say you didn't grow up in that environment and you could have been a chemist or a doctor or something else, but you didn't have that path. So sometimes the streets will rob you of being something greater than you may be already. And a lot of us that come from urban environments are so proud. Nah, nigga, I'm from the streets. I'm from the streets. What you could have been. A nigga Lotus Luck said, boy, I couldn't fly in the friendly skies. Nigga said, why he had to take that drive? Why couldn't he fly the friendly skies? That was one of my favorite battles right there. Shout out to Lotus Luck. Shout out to Calico too. Smart nigga too. But yeah, we're so quick to say that, yo, we street niggas, this, that, and the third. Now, don't get it fucked up. Everybody's not going to have the street success story. Everybody's not going to have the Jay-Z, quote unquote, only I'm not saying what he did in the streets, did his from his rhymes, he says. You're not going to always have the luck of selling 92 bricks, lost 92 bricks and crawl back and get it all back and everything else. That's not for everybody. That destiny is not for everybody. So sometimes you have to think about what could have been if it didn't turn out good already, because the environment that you grew up in. I talked about this a year or two ago on It Is What It Is. We only go with the opportunities that's given to us. You know what I'm saying? You have an opportunity to where You know, I think I was talking about chicks in Colombia, and I was saying that they don't really necessarily want to sell their pussy for, you know, $35, you know, $40, $50, $60, $70. What was the price, Nick, when you went out there? $50? Yeah, $50. Like, Nick went more recently than me. They raising the prices. I see inflation. It's just tariffs and all that. They might be raising the prices. Bad bitches, $50, but this is the environment they get. So therefore, they like, damn, I don't necessarily have a job. This city, we get a lot of tourists. Let me get 5 niggas a day. That's $250 a day. $50, you get 5 tourists. You think she necessarily wants to do that? She may not want to do that, and I talked about that in a previous show. I also discovered when I was in Colombia, and not saying that was for me, but a kilo is $3,000. So they're selling a kilo for $3,000. And then by the time I get to Mexico, it's $12,000, $13,000. Then by the time I get to America, it's $26,000, $27,000. Then when they get to Canada, it's $42,000, $43,000. These are all the opportunities that's presented to you. If we're just talking about drugs. Yo, I got it for 10. I got to sell it for 17. If I got it for 17, I got to sell it for 28. If I got it for 28, by the time I get up North Carolina, I got to sell 42. That's because the opportunities be given. Imagine somebody say, listen, man, you could run IBM in 7 years and make $300 million. Okay, let me sit down and take the course for 7 years. We didn't have that opportunity. Not just me. I'm just talking about people in general. So sometimes the streets may have made you, but it may have also robbed you of what you could have been. And if you find that guy who made that statement, make sure y'all show him this video, because I wish I remember his name to give him his props, because that was worded eloquently. So I want to give him his credit on that.
Everybody loves the comeback story until they realize how rare it really is. My honest takeaway from Cameron's point is this. He wasn't tearing Jay-Z down, and he wasn't glorifying the streets either. He was separating mythology from reality. And that matters because too many people grow up thinking one success story is a blueprint when it's really an exception. The 92 bricks line hits because it sounds so cinematic. But Cameron's right about one thing that a lot of people don't want to admit. And that's survival doesn't automatically equal destiny. Sometimes you make it out, sometimes you don't. And sometimes you make it out, but you still lose years you never get back. That doesn't make anybody weak. That just makes life honest. What I respect about this conversation is the maturity. Jay-Z's story is legendary, but legends aren't instructions. Most people don't get a second chance after losing everything. Most people don't turn risk into a global brand. Jay-Z later turned his story into business moves that helped him build a net worth that were reported to exceed $1 billion. That level of income is not normal at all. That's elite. So let me ask you all this. Do you think Cameron was right to say that Jay-Z's 92 brick story isn't a blueprint for everybody? Do you think stories like Jay-Z's inspire people more than they mislead them? Or do they do both at the same time? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And make sure you like and subscribe. Peace.